Hello everyone, I am Jyoti Kumari, Assistant Professor in RPIIT at campus. So in this video, we are going to learn about the tissue processing. So tissue processing is that tissues from the body are taken for diagnosis of disease processed in histology laboratory to produce microscopic slides that are viewed under microscope by the pathologist. Then gross examination has to be done after receiving the sample in the histopathology lab. In the gross examination, tissue removed from the body for diagnosis arrived in the pathology department and are examined. Gross examination consists of describing the specimen and take gross sections that containing or suspected tumor cells for tissue processing to make ready for microscopy. Then the tissue comes by the several ways. It could be from the biopsy or it could be from the autopsy. So biopsy is that removing a piece of tissue from living being a person, and autopsy is that removing of large tissue or organ from dead body. The purpose of the histopathology is to differentiate between normal tissue and abnormal tissue. Normal tissue cells have nucleus smaller in size than cytoplasm, but in abnormal tissue, nucleus becomes larger in size and larger in size, and cytoplasm is shorter than nucleus. These changes can be seen commonly in cancerous stage and precancerous stage. Then here's the steps of tissue processing. First one is fixation, that then dehydration, then clearing, embedding, staining, and then finally cover slipping. Then first one is fixation. Fixation should be carried out as soon as possible after removal of tissue, that is from it could be from biopsy or it could be from autopsy, to prevent autolysis. Most common fixative used in lab is 10% formalin. There are five major groups of fixatives classified according to mechanisms of action. First one is aldehyde, mercurials, alcohols, oxidizing agents, and picrates. Then second step is dehydration. The dehydration basically means that removal of water level from the tissue. So in dehydration, fixed tissue cannot be directly infiltrated with paraffin. First, the water from the tissue must be removed by dehydration. This is done as in ascending order from lower to higher concentration. Alcohol is used commonly. Order usually like that: 30%, then 50%, then 70%, then 90%, and finally it goes to the absolute alcohol. Other less common used dehydrating agents include acetone and dioxane. Then third one is clearing. Consists of removal of dehydrant with the substance that will be miscible with the embedding medium, that is paraffin. The commonest clearing agent is xylene. Other clearing agents include toluene, chloroform, methyl, and salicylate. Then the fourth one is embedding. Finally, the tissue is infiltrated with the embedding agent, almost and always paraffin. Tissue is surrounded by paraffin wax. This will provide external support to the tissue. It provides hardness to the tissue for proper section cutting. Then sectioning. Once the tissue have been embedded, they must be cut into the sections that can be placed into slide. This is done for microtome. Thickness of section cutting is should be in between 3 to 5 micrometer. That is called final cutting. Once the sections are cut, they are picked up on the microscopic slide. The glass slides are then placed in a warm oven for at least about 15 minutes to help the section to adhere to the slide, or take the slide coated with Mayer's egg albumin, which help in adhesion of tissue to slide. Then finally we have to stain the slide. The embedded process must be reversed in order to get the paraffin wax out of the tissue to allow matter soluble dye to penetrate the section. Basically, in when we do the staining on the slide, after the staining, we have to mount the smear. Uh, so but in the starting of the staining, we have to deparaffinize the deparaffinize the smear. It could be done by that the staining can be done. The slides are deparaffinized steps. First, dip the slide in xylene jar to completely removal of paraffin wax. Now we will use alcohol in descending order, higher to lower. That is 90%, 70%, then 50%, then 30%, then distilled water. After hydration, stain the section. The routine stain is hematoxylin and eosin, that is HND. Other stains are referred to special stains because they are employed in specific situation according to diagnosis needs. Then cover slipping. After staining, again removal water for a long time storage of slide. That for that again we will do dehydration step, that is 30%, 50%, then 70%, then 90%, that last absolute alcohol, and then clearing with xylene. After that, mount the slide with DPX, that is the full form of DPX is dystyrene plasticizer xylene. Mounting will help the tissue to preserve long storage without any harm to tissue. Finally, observe the slide under the microscope. Thank you very much.